What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, my people. What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? It is hump day. It's hump day, man. It's hump day. Give it up one time for hump day. Let me get a little comfortable in this seat, man. Give it up for hump. I gotta get a better chair. I gotta get a gaming chair probably with a little back and neck rest, My head a little heavy, man, so I need something to support. But what's going on, man? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Great day to be alive. One of the better days of the week. We've made it across the hump, the proverbial hump. What's going on? Good. Only going out. What's going on, man? It's always a crazy week, but the weather's been crazy. It's been cold, but it warmed up today a little bit. We finally feel like winter. We in that weird time in between Black Friday and Christmas where all the days seem to run together. You know what I'm saying? Christmas time right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It is weird. B Diva checking in. What up, though? Say it was weird having a bye week. I didn't know what to do with myself. Exactly. I found myself watching the Falcons versus the Saints, and I fell asleep a little bit. It was kind of boring to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of boring, I low-key wanted the Falcons to win just because I don't like the Saints that bad, but, it ain't the same. Especially having a bye week that late in the season for the Panthers. It was weird, man. It was weird. Week 13 bye week. Usually the Panthers bye weeks are, super early, so it's week 4, 5, or 6, something like that. So to have it this late in the year just seemed weird. But it was a good thing, though. The Panthers are able to get some people, hopefully, able to get some people healthy. Dante Jackson, he's been dealing with that turf toe since forever. It seems like he's been dealing with it all year. He ain't really been able to finish a game. Hopefully, he'll be able to be healthy for this Broncos game. But Christian McCaffrey, when I heard the news today about him tweaking his thigh during the practice, I'm like, man, this dude can't get right. They either run a game on us. They either run a game on us about Christian McCaffrey being hurt, or he's really just can't stay healthy this year. Donald Gonzalez, man, it's been a minute since I seen Donald Gonzalez in this thing. He said he haven't tuned in since last year. Yeah, man, I took a little hiatus earlier this year during COVID, but I'm back. Been back for a little bit. What up, though? You ain't forgot? You know what I'm saying? It's like clockwork. Andy Clark checking in. What up, though? Yeah, I found myself watching the Saints versus the Falcons game, man. It was weird during that bye week. When your team not playing, get a chance to look around, watch some other teams, pay attention to all the other games. You don't feel real married to one game, so you can kind of flip around through the games during the commercial breaks and watch who you want to watch. But on one channel, it was the Browns blowing out the Titans, and the other channel, it was the Saints and the Falcons. So it was just what's going to hold my attention? I was going back and forth. I know Baker was cooking. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Baker Mayfield was cooking. But I didn't want to see a blowout. It was 38-7 at halftime, so I had to force myself to watch the whole Falcons versus Saints game for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And Clark says CMC going to be nicknamed Can't Get Right. Look, I guess when you off that much time and you had that much rest, he just tweaked something that's good. I mean, it was a muscle injury. So that's the weird part. So I need news. CMC in my lineup, but I'm in the quarterfinals for fantasy. Is he playing or not? He tweaked his thigh. His shoulder seems to be, he was on the injury list for his thigh. Let me put this back up. He was on the injury list for his thigh. His shoulder, excuse me. But now he hurt his thigh. He tweaked his thigh in practice. If he can go, he's going to go. Listen, Christian McCaffrey, if it's not devastating, he's going to play, even if he's partially hurt. Our coaching staff, they're not going to play favorites and sit him out. I'm going to tell you that. It's not going to be because of coaching. It'll be, if he can't play, it's because he really can't play. And he's going against the Denver Broncos, his hometown team, a team that he's from the city that he was born and raised in, went to high school, was a star standout. His family still lives there. His dad won a Super Bowl ring with the Broncos. This dude wants to play against the Broncos. You know what I'm saying? I know we haven't had a ton of success in the Broncos recently, whether it was the Super Bowl or the year after the Super Bowl or stuff like that. Like, we haven't had a lot of success against the Broncos, but we haven't had Christian McCaffrey either in any of these times. Now, Christian McCaffrey is going to do everything he can to play. I'm going to tell you that. Like I said, just because of all the connections to his hometown and all that. And, like, I'm sure he was a Broncos fan growing up, of course. But he's going to try to play if he can. You know, and if he's on the field, he's going to get the ball a lot. It's just they don't know how to lighten the load on Christian McCaffrey. So if he's on the field, he's going to get the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be afraid to play him. If he's ready to play, put him in your lineup. I know fantasy, everybody's kind of nervous about it. I have Alvin Kamara on my fantasy team. He's been slacking off ever since Taysom Hill has been in the lineup. Just because they don't throw it as much. And Taysom Hill takes a lot of carries away from Alvin Kamara. You know what I'm saying? Alvin Kamara is one of the league leaders in touchdowns, but he's been kind of slow the past couple of weeks with Taysom Hill being in the lineup. So, me personally, I'm ready for Drew Brees to come back because I'm trying to win my fantasy league also. You know? So, we'll see. Everybody's kind of on pins and needles when it comes to these running backs in this league because fantasy time is real. It's playoff time, man. Playoffs. And with COVID going on, you want everybody in the lineup because you never know who's going to be missing. You never know who can get lucky and get hot and make a run depending on who's going against who if somebody gets COVID. Andy Clark said she's so glad it's no longer an unbeaten team in the NFL. Man, did y'all see these memes and stuff they was doing on the internet for the Steelers? Like all the TikToks and stuff they had been making over the weeks. Listen to a guy that I was a Panthers fan when we were going undefeated. Nobody likes you. Nobody thinks you're as good as your record says you are. Once you get to about 11, 12 wins, unless you're the Patriots or something that was doing that back in the day, nobody thinks you're as good as your record. Nobody does. I mean, you're better off being like how the Saints were. The Saints, they started 1-2, something like that. The Saints didn't start off great, but they ended up peeling off like 9 wins in a row. And so people actually give them credit. If you undefeated, people are going, they're overrated. They're not playing anybody. They need to do this. They need to do that. And I mean, we knew the Steelers were overrated. Let's be real. We knew they were overrated, and it was going to be time. It was going to be time for them to get that L. But nobody saw it coming to the football team. You know what I'm saying? The football team. Because the Steelers talking all this trash. Oh, losing, I never heard of her. Or TikToking, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Juju, the TikTok king, doing all that stuff. So they were trolling. And that's what happens. Especially if you losing in prime time to the football team, to a team that ain't got a name. You hate to see it. He said Kamara's battling a slight ankle injury too. That's why Murray's been solid. See, now that makes me wonder. I thought he was missing some practice time, but I didn't know why Kamara was going to be limited. And that makes me nervous. But his production will come back with Brees. Hopefully Brees can get within another week or so. I think I can get by in the first round of the fantasy playoffs. Because luckily, I had the highest scoring team in the league, but I lost like 3 games. So I have a great seed. I have a great seed in the bracket. You know what I'm saying? So I really get to play all the scrub teams until the finals. So I'm kind of good where I'm at. See, Kamara will be back when Brees. Yeah, that's what I think. Because Brees throws it to Kamara all day, and I need them stats. Travis 504, what up, though? Kind of rhyme a little bit. 504, I know where you from. That's New Orleans right there. Said the 09 Saints. Said Juju been a letdown. Yeah, Juju ain't it. He not it. Everybody liked him because of his personality. And then when Antonio Brown was there, he was getting all the single coverage, so he was doing all these numbers. And then once he left, Antonio Brown dissed him. They really liked him because they were like, oh, Antonio Brown's the bad guy. He's talking all this trash about Juju. Juju looked up to him. And now we see what Juju is when it's time to be the man. He's not that productive. I mean, granted, Big Ben spreads the ball around, but they pass the ball a lot. You want to see Juju be a little bit more productive. They have a passing offense. Let's be real. They have a passing offense. That's why they're vulnerable. You're not going to win a Super Bowl on Ben Roethlisberger's arm. You need some balance. So the Steelers were always going to be vulnerable. Yeah, their defense is good, but this is the NFL. Anybody defense can get touched. It may be hard, but your defense can get touched at any point. And then if you don't have a running game to balance out that pass, you're vulnerable, man. It's cold outside. Everybody can't run as fast. The ball's a little bit harder to catch. Them hits hit a little different when it's cold. You got to be able to run the ball and have some balance. And as old as Ben Roethlisberger is, it was going to be too much for him to try to carry this team all the way. So it shows how vulnerable they are. You know, they're scheduled down the stretch. Straight up, though. They're scheduled down the stretch. Have y'all seen their schedule? I would hate for them to lose three more games and end up being in the wild card, which is most like. I mean, we know they're not messing with. We know they're not messing with the Chiefs, but the rest of their schedule, they got the Bills at the Bills this Sunday, at the Bengals. That's a dub. They got the Colts, which could be a good game, and they got at the Browns, and the Browns been playing pretty strong, so they could easily lose 1, 2, 3 more games and find themselves a number 2, 3, maybe a 4 seed, depending on how the playoffs goes, you know, because like I said, if Buffalo wins, that's 10-3. They got the head-to-head, so if the Steelers lose another game, they'll fall down that playoff ranking a little bit, so you never know what can happen. And like I said, if they lose to the Browns will have that head-to-head on them also. So the Steelers could easily go from being the last undefeated team to being, like I said, a 3, 4, 5 seed. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Granted, they'll probably get the division, or maybe, I don't know. The Browns are right on their neck. But they never were as good as we thought they were going to be. My boy KB in this thing. What up, though? New grad, birthday boy. Boy had a huge last couple of days, KB. Last couple of days being huge. My man got the Masters on him. And he had a birthday. And he turned 30. Salute to my mans. Donald Gonzalez said he coming back for the Chiefs game here. Okay. Yep. That's what Andy Clark saying. Chiefs. Hey, Andy Clark, don't forget about that bet. Don't forget about that bet. You lucky Breeze may be back for the Chiefs. But don't forget about that bet. Donald Gonzalez said hashtag 504. He said sucking the cold. I felt that. He said if we win against the Eagles, we win the division. Listen, don't let Jalen Hurts turn up on y'all. We're going to talk about Jalen a little bit later. But don't let Jalen Hurts turn up on y'all. Donald Gonzalez said he knows Wentz is a topic, too. I don't expect Jalen and Carson to do anything. And KB said sensational. Hey, my boy Kyrie is he an Eagles fan. He an Eagles fan, so, you know what I'm saying? The Eagles taking on the Saints. A lot of Saints on the chat, man. It's a lot of Saints fans on the chat, man. Oh, yeah. And Clark said she didn't forget. B. Diva said she noticed that my shirt has a show on it. Yeah. I got this made. It's not bad. It's not great. I'm gonna get some better ones made. Y'all go shop with your boy on the merch. Make some merch. I'll put the logo. I'll put the show logo on it, but I'm gonna put the UB on it too. Oh no, I ain't got no UB. Unnecessary bluntness merchandise in here, but thought about getting some t-shirts, man, some hoodies, man. It's a cold winter. I gotta mess with me on the merch if I get something made. It's gonna be fair prices too. I ain't gonna hit y'all in the head. KB said upset alert. Upset alert. Said you know NFL loves storylines. All right. Speaking of storylines, let's go ahead and get into it. Matter of fact, since we own it, we got some Saints fans, we got some Eagles fans. So the Eagles do play the Saints this Sunday. Where's it at? Oh, it's in Philly. Okay. It's a 4:00 game. Gonzalez said he with the merch. So it's a 4:00 game. The Eagles play the Saints. The Saints travel all the way up to the city of brotherly love to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And we got the headline this week that Jalen Hurts, after coming in at the end of the game in mop-up duty and almost bringing the team back the other night in prime time when the whole world watching, the media engine started to chug. Started to chug. Like I said, playing in prime time is cool and bad. Like as a Panthers fan, we're never good at prime time, but people don't watch your team all year. So they get to see your team play once and they think they know everybody. They think they know how the whole season has gone based off of one game. So I mean, Wentz has been bad. Let's be real. But Wentz playing like that, and then have Jalen Hurts come in there, throw a touchdown, move around, escape the pocket, and almost come back. It was a media frenzy, and they jumped on it like piranha. It was just right for the picking, and the pressure was on. The pressure was on as soon as they drafted Jalen Hurts. Everybody thought he was going to need time to develop to become a better passer. Granted, he did take steps after he left Alabama and went to Oklahoma. But we still thought he would need some time to develop before he became a starting caliber quarterback. But he's going to get a chance to start for the first time this Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. A very aggressive defense. Now, I will say this. They are challenged in the secondary, but the Eagles don't have great receivers. So this is going to be a tough game to first start out for Jalen Hurts. First start out for Jalen Hurts is going to be tough. Now, the Eagles are a 7-point underdog right now. And that seems pretty fair to me, even with Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because these two guys have similar skill sets. Obviously, Taysom Hill's probably a little bit faster, more explosive athlete. But Jalen, he's a tough runner. He's a smooth runner. He's a smooth athlete. So similar styles, obviously. I think better coaching, obviously, on the Saints side. But Jalen Hurts, for him to come in and bench Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is a $128 million quarterback. Imagine getting paid that much money to sit on the bench. And they've been going ham on Twitter about Wentz on the bench, the rhyming and stuff like that. So imagine getting all that money and being on the bench. And the Eagles are really in a tough position because where do you go? Let's say Jalen Hurts let's say he comes in the last couple games, he goes 2, or he starts the rest of the games. What do you do? Because you're in a predicament. Like, this is the most 2020th thing ever. Like Jalen Hurts, the guy who had some early success in his career, similar to Carson Wentz. Somebody else comes in behind him, like he did for Carson Wentz. Tua Tagovailoa came in, got benched. Tua had success. Jalen Hurts, he's actually taking somebody's spot. That's the most 2020 thing ever. Jalen Hurts going from backup to starter, taking somebody's starting position. One thing about them tables, man, they always turn. One thing about them tables, they always turn. It's crazy. Jalen Hurts taking somebody's starting position. It's wild to me. It's wild. But I'm rooting for this guy, man. I like Jalen Hurts. I like him. But we're going to see. Like I said, the Saints, their defense, man, their defense is very, very aggressive. Now, they can get beat because of that aggression, but they're very aggressive. They're pretty tough, and they've been playing pretty solid down the stretch. The Eagles lack weapons, so we'll see. Did they put Jalen Hurts in there to set him up for the kill going against a team like the Saints to make him look bad? Who knows? I feel like Doug Pearson has a little thing for Carson Wentz, and he wants him to be the guy, good, bad, or indifferent. Did they throw Jalen Hurts to the Wolves against a team like the Saints just to see, like, okay, hey, make them fail? And then, okay, you see why we've been, so they have a point to prove and say, hey, this is why we kept Carson Wentz in there. I don't know. I'm just speaking in conspiracy theories, but it's going to be tough going against the Saints. Like I said, granted, Drew Brees is not playing, so I don't think they're going to just light it up on you and just kill you. But that defense is tough. It's going to be hard to score, man. It's going to be hard to score for a rookie in his first start with barely any weapons. You know, so we'll see what happens there. And Clark said with the front line, he won't have time to look down the field. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, their offense, the Eagles' offensive line, is it pretty solid? Because is Lane Johnson playing? Peters? Dudes like that? We'll see. See, a win still going to get paid. Exactly. That's why they call it guarantee. That money is guaranteed. That guaranteed money, that mean that money gonna be there when whether you in there, not in there, dead or alive. That money is gonna be paid and made. The check gonna clear every time. Miss Sandy in this thing. What up, though? I feel like I ain't talked to a lot of y'all because of the bye week. KB said we're gonna run the ball, which we should have been doing with Wentz. They said Peter's watch. Peter's still huge though. He's huge. Yeah, the Eagles, they're not a great football team. Let's be real. They're not a great football team. They're not. They lack talent at the skill positions. Their offensive line is overpaid. They can't protect Wentz. Like KB saying, Wentz is one of the most sacked quarterback in the league. Their defense does have some names. Obviously, Fletcher Cox up front, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay at corner. They did lose Malcolm Jenkins to the Saints, so it's going to be the reunion because Malcolm Jenkins started with the Saints, went to the Eagles, and then came back to the Saints. So it's going to be like a homegoing or homecoming. I ain't going to say homegoing because that's a funeral. A homecoming, I guess, for Malcolm. So it's a lot of interesting. It's something to keep your eye on. You know, a lot of good headlines, and little things in the game within the game to keep your eye on when it comes to this Eagles versus Saints matchup. I'm getting kind of excited just thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about it, I'm getting kind of excited. You know what I'm saying? But you guys saw that game last night? Y'all see that game last night? The Ravens and the Cowboys. Y'all see that game? Tuesday night football. We had another weird Tuesday night football game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear about Dez Bryant? Dez Bryant got the Rona right before kickoff. Like, I'm laughing, but it's not funny because Dez was on the sideline. He was jamming during warm-ups, listening to his headphones. You know, everybody know how Dez Bryant is. Dez Bryant is one of the most emotional and passionate players in the NFL. So he was geeked up. You know what I'm saying? He going against his former team, Jerry and them, they gave up. I feel like they gave up on him. They gave his number away to CD Lamb. It's going to be on prime time. He with the Ravens, the better team. He finna snap. He finally got his chance after fighting through injuries when he tore his Achilles with the Saints. Took a while for him to get back on a roster. Back in the league, finally first couple games in his belt, he geeked up. He in warm-ups, talking to cameras, throwing up signs and stuff, shouting out his mama and whatnot, dancing, warming up. And then apparently his test that he took, his pre-game COVID test, it was a misread. So he had to go retake it. Went in the locker room to take it during warm-ups. He tested positive. And he tested positive, man. And you felt bad, but it was just like, this is just the stuff, this is the type of stuff that you start to expect from 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dez can't catch a break. In one of his first practices with the Saints, he tears his Achilles. He finally gets the chance to play in prime time. And you know Lamar was going to feed him that ball against his former team. And he was probably going to have a solid game maybe. Playing with that passion, playing turned up. Test positive for the Rona. Then he goes to Twitter and starts tweeting. Man, how about man, they called me back in the locker room and they said I tested positive for COVID. Man, I'm just going to hang it up. It ain't even worth it no more. I'm about to drink some wine and cope. Listen, drinking wine and coping it should be everybody's policy for 2020, man. I can't even blame him for saying that. He said he about to drink some wine and cope. Drinking wine and coping, need to put that on the t-shirt. That's the motto for 2020. Drink wine and cope. I approve that message. But you hate to see it for Dez, man. Because y'all know how Dez, you know how intense Dez is as a player. You know he wanted to go out there and show out. In front of Jerry Jones, in front of Jerry Jones' team. You know what I'm saying? Granted, it's a different coaching staff and stuff. But you know Dez wanted that so bad. He wanted that so bad. I wanted it bad for him, to be honest. I don't even hate Dez like that. I don't really care. I'm not a fan, but I don't hate him. He's just a player to me. But I kind of wanted it for him. That moment, Tuesday night, everybody's watching. You know you're probably going to win against the Cowboys. They're not a great team. I wanted that moment for Dez myself. I feel bad for him. Seems like y'all feel bad too. Said, poor Dez. Said, yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was wild. Oh, yeah, I forgot Miss Sandy said the Ravens one of her teams too. B Diva said, yeah, Dez can never win. She said she ain't watched the game because she disliked the Cowboys. I can't blame you for that. I can't. I can't blame you for that. I can't. But make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up if you have not. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, Dez, you hate to see it, man. Like, it's unfortunate. Because you do like guys that care about, because some guys, I mean, nobody, I'm not going to say nobody doesn't care about the game. But there's one of those emotional guys that you know it's because he loves playing football. He just loves playing. He plays hard when he's on the field. He had to come out of quote unquote retirement to get back just to get the Rona, the vid, right before the game. Prime time. You know, that was going to be must-see TV. You know what I'm saying? But I made a video earlier this week talking about Carolina and the Rona or the vid, depending on who you are and what Netflix special by Kevin Hart you've seen. You might call it the vid right now, or the Rona, or COVID-19, or coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. But the Panthers, on their bye week, they had a COVID-19, I wouldn't call it an outbreak, but they had a bunch of guys, 8 guys, added to the COVID list. So when you see that many names go to the COVID list, it's eye-opening. It's scary. I didn't know what happened. I mean, this is still, no matter what these people try to tell you, there's still a lot about this virus that we don't know. Yeah, I know the vaccine is coming back and people in Atlanta acting like we got the cure already. You know, but it's real. The Rona is real. The vid is real. It's real. It can affect anybody at any time. Obviously, you see with the Dez Bryant situation, it can pop up at any time, and you never know. Annie Clark said she didn't like the Dez attitude. It's like he mad at the NFL because he got the Rona. I mean, yeah, that's just the yeah. I mean, people, you can't get mad at the policies. That's the policy. You know, granted, the NFL has been lax on a lot of stuff, but the fact that my thing is, if you know Dez got the Rona, he was out there pregame. I know he had a mask on and he was outside, but he was still probably talking to people, dapping people up. Y'all not gonna cancel the game or pause the game or delay the game to make sure everybody to see who to contact trace. The NFL is a joke about this. They're just doing what they got to do and checking these boxes. They say that they're not going to put health over, they're not going to put business decisions over health issues. But y'all just checking boxes. Because why ain't y'all contact trace Dez Bryant? Like, who was he talking to in pregame? He was out there for a while dancing in the cameras and stuff. Like, he talked to, I think, the sideline reporter. Like, what's the policy for that? What's the policy? Is Dez the first person to test positive pregame for the Rona? So maybe it caught them off guard. Maybe they didn't know what to do. I don't know. NFL's funny though, man. They're the kings of mixed messages. They're the king of mixed messages. Miss Sandy said too many delays already. That's true. Maybe they didn't want to push the Ravens game back again after having to Tuesday game. I'm just glad it was on Fox and not on NFL Sunday Ticket like that Steelers game was. I mean, granted, I have NFL Sunday Ticket, but it's a lot easier to stream stuff when it's on national television like YouTube TV or Hulu Live or stuff like that. So definitely, I'm a nurse. I see it firsthand. We are so short in the hospital I work at. Look, more power to you. I appreciate you for being on the front line as a nurse. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you being on the live stream, taking the time away from the hospital that you have from battling COVID to listen to me talk when there's more important stuff going on. So shout out to you for that, for sure. Putting yourself on the front line. I don't know how you feel about the vaccine or if they're going to make the healthcare workers take the vaccine or how you feel about it. That's a whole different topic. But just be safe, take your precautions. I already know, I'm talking I'm preaching to the choir, obviously, but stay healthy for sure. My man Luke is in this thing. What up, though? Donald Clark. What up, though? We talked about that Saints Eagles game a little bit earlier. You kind of just missed it. But the Panthers, man, during the bye week, they had an outbreak of the vid, and apparently the word came out. The word came out that the Panthers, they had a little meeting or a team outing or something amongst each other. Because if you look at the list, it was only young players. It was only younger players. DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Shaq Thompson's fairly new, rookie Derek Brown, Greg Little, he's only been in the league 2 years. It was young guys. Young guys. So it made sense. I don't know what they did. I don't know if they were playing PS5 or something. They went to a bar. Went to a football game. So I don't know what they did. But they got together outside of the team facility. And I don't know if it's true, but I heard DJ Moore is the one that had the vid. And I guess everybody else being around them ended up getting put on the list. Now, I told y'all it's hard to police all these moving parts. There's 53 players on the team. 53 players on the team. You give these guys a bunch of time off, stuff is going to happen. Isn't the saying the idle mind is the devil's playground? Now, a bye week is the COVID-19's playground. Because it seems like that's the biggest thing you got to worry about when you have a bye week. Yeah, you can get your players healthy from injuries that they have, but you got to worry about them catching COVID. Just from the free time they have doing their own thing. And you see North Carolina, they got a curfew now. North Carolina has a curfew. I don't know if it's just Charlotte or if it's just North Carolina in general. They have a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's basically to get rid of the nightlife. People are like, oh, COVID's just going to go to bed at 10. So what's the point of having a curfew? It's because y'all like to go out to the clubs and the bars and the lounges. That's why they have a curfew. Yeah, you have the everyday stuff that happens. I mean, you can't avoid going to the grocery store, seeing people and stuff like that and other stuff that's open in restaurants. But being all up on top of each other with no mask and stuff at clubs and bars and lounges, that's that stuff they're trying to cut back on when they're putting them curfews on. That's what they're cutting back on. Now, I'm in Georgia. We're probably not shutting down. Probably not shutting down. I mean, in Atlanta, they still turning up every day of the week. I don't go out. I haven't been much anywhere. But Atlanta is doing what they do. They're going business as usual. They're going business as usual. They haven't broke stride. You know what I'm saying? Haven't broke stride. But that's what you got to worry about, them congregating outside of the team facility. And it bit the Panthers. It bit them. It bit them. Now, who will come off this list before a game day, we'll see, because we got to play the Broncos. It's just ironic that the Broncos had that quarterback issue where they were congregating without masks. And that's the team the Panthers have this week. Irony is crazy, man. Irony is crazy. Abdul said, what up, though? Told you a few weeks ago the Saints are the best team in the NFC. Sad reality. Am I ready to admit it? Probably. They're probably the best, unfortunately. I still have faith in the Packers again. I got more faith in the Packers again, Lucas. I know you ain't here. I got more faith in the Packers again. But the Saints, yeah, they're looking like the best. It's the best. They're probably the best right now. And that's a lot coming from a guy like me. I'm the designated Saints hater. The designated Saints hater. But I got to give it to him, man. I got to give it to him. So I hope his family's good. DJ has a baby girl, but he just had a birthday. But he just had a birthday party for her. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I know he had that newborn. I didn't know that was a birthday party is what they got together for. That makes sense. I mean, it don't make no sense to do it, but I get it. That's probably the baby's first birthday, I'm assuming, because I think he just had that baby. So I see. It's tough. You know, this is a different year. No special moments. in special moments, man. You don't want to give them up, but I mean, it's it's the Rona, man. The Rona's curving everything. It's been a lot of crazy stuff that I've had to miss out on. I love going to drinking and food festivals. I've had to miss out on a lot of those. My birthday was at the crib. Didn't do nothing. I think I got Red Lobster and drunk at the house. Ordered Red Lobster on DoorDash and went to the store, got some adult beverages. Nothing special. 4th of July at the crib. Thanksgiving at the crib. That's about it, you know. You think you can go around your family and friends that you trust, but you really can't. You don't know where they been. Just because you not hanging around randoms don't mean you safe. You know. It doesn't mean you safe. You're still taking a risk even hanging out with family. It sucks, but man, come on. He said, which is why the numbers are high in ATL. Ridiculous. Common sense is obviously overrated. Listen, I don't think it's the fact that people don't know. They just don't care. It's not about common sense. It's about people just don't care. They want to live their life. The governor said it himself the other day. We're not going to sacrifice livelihood for lives. And that tells you all you need to hear about our governor, Brian Kemp. He said it with a more country, deep South Georgia accent. We're not going to sacrifice livelihood for lives. Something like that. People got to go to the club for their livelihood, I guess. They got to do it. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. I'll be wearing my mask. I'm limiting what I got to do. I know it's the holidays, but shoot. Got to limit that exposure, man. Said, Doc, you're finally coming of age. My sister Annie and me Ben told you. Listen, man. I'm a hater, but I'm not blind. All right? I'm a hater, but I'm not dumb and blind. I watch the eyes. I'm all about the eye test. You know. The defense, it's been a lot better, man. I'll say this. The secondary is still their weakness, but they have not been exposed yet. They have not been exposed like they've had in years past. They've been playing a little bit, even without Janoris Jenkins. I know they gave up some plays, and Janoris Jenkins has been out, but Marshawn Lattimore has been a little bit more steady. You know what I'm saying? He's been getting called on, obviously. But it seems like the penalties have been a little bit down. They still hold and pass interfere all day, but they've been a little bit down. They're covering a little bit better. They've always been aggressive, like I said, but I mean, I call it like I see it. Lucas said the Packers got it. I still believe in the Packers just because I can't wholeheartedly just give the NFC to the Saints when the playoffs come. I'll say they're the best team right now, but I just can't give it to them. So everybody healthy on offense. You saw what game? Yeah. Say, oh, you should turn one. Yeah, I figured. So thank God I'm an introvert in these weird times. Listen, introverts winning right now. Introverts winning right now. They right in their element. Said the toughest governor in history, period. Dog, you ain't got to tell me. I know. This is what happened when you a dirty politician. You got all these business owners paying you money under the table. You can't afford to close down. These are people that are financing your campaign. You can't afford to shut down a state and hurt their business. Nah. Too many people greasing your pockets. It's about money, man. It's about money. Said Jack Raggett and P-Rob was out. That hurt. But that front seven is bringing it to the Saints. Yeah. Nah. The Quan has made a few plays, but it's been, I can't even think of his name right now. Demario Davis. He's been on another level. I'm not going to lie. He has been on another level. He kind of funny looking to me, but he's been on another level this year, man. I can't even take that away from him. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Davison has been balling. Opposite of Cam Jordan. No, Cam Jordan, he hasn't been as explosive as Tip. I mean, but he put up some numbers. He's gonna always put up some numbers, and make plays. But he hasn't been as dominant. He hasn't had those dominant runs like he's had. Well, not at least not against the Panthers. He only had one tackle against the Panthers. But the games I've seen him, he hasn't wreaked as much havoc. But it's coming. It's more of a by committee approach. It's more of a committee approach, man, from the defensive line getting that pressure. So they're gonna be a tough out. They're gonna be a tough out. I am anxious to see if they play against the Packers. That'll be a great game. I'm anxious for that Chiefs game too. That'll be a great game too. The Saints Chiefs. That's next week. I'm about to go ahead and check Amazon for that merch for this bet for me and Annie Clark. That bet when she loses bet. I said Davison. Hendrickson. That's what it is. I don't know why I said Davison. Davison is from the freaking Falcons. Hendrickson. Yeah. So the Chiefs are winning again, though. They can't be stopped at their best. Man. The Chiefs, and they I don't even know if they played a perfect game yet. They haven't even played a perfect game. So they're not even. Can we agree that the Chiefs aren't even playing their best football yet? I mean, granted, it would be a good time to play your best football against the Saints. Probably the best team in the NFC. However, they haven't played their best football yet. So KC game will be a gauge for the Saints, exactly. Their secondary will be tested. Your defense will be tested. Now, Breeze is back against that Chiefs defense. They're not that great. They have some names, obviously. Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Honey Badger. But they ought to be had. They can be had. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get it twisted. But when their offense just put that much pressure on you, it makes it a lot easier for the defense. A lot easier. But KC's defense can be had. And that's what Don Clark said. Yeah, they suspect. They suspect. You know what I'm saying? They are suspect. So we'll see. But I'm anxious for that game, man. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So let's talk about Rookie of the Year, man. We got to do an update on it. Rookie of the Year. There's been a lot of talk and discussion about this, man. So I wanted to revisit this Rookie of the Year conversation. We'll start with the defense because I think this is probably the most heated race. My three guys are, of course, Chase Young. Chase Young, we know, the number 2 overall pick. He's a beast. You know, it helps when you have a great game in prime time and you beat the undefeated team. Because it's all about the media hype. Let's be real. It's all about the media hype. So when you have a great game in prime time and you take down an undefeated team, you're going to get that clout. So Chase Young is getting that clout. Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen had a primetime game. He went to LSU. Fresh off that championship, he's been getting a lot of hype for that. Patrick Queen's been productive. He had a pick against the Cowboys. Solid pick. People are saying him. And my pick, obviously, the Panthers' second round pick, Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin, man. Leading the rookies in tackles, leading the team in tackles, 2 fumble recoveries for a touchdown, an interception on the year, playing multiple positions, corner, safety, linebacker, inside linebacker, rushing the passer. Jeremy Chin can do it all. And that's why I think he's my pick. Now, Chase Young will probably give him a push, but I don't think Patrick Queen should be getting as much hype as he is. Jeremy Chin is my pick. Obviously, it's biased. But he does so much for this team already, and he plays so many different positions. He's so versatile. Like, it's hard for me to put anybody else over a rookie that's taking on that much responsibility so fast and excelling at it. And that's just my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts on it. Abdul agrees. Say, Mr. Chin. Donna Clark says the homer pick. Since they did what they wanted against the Ravens. Yeah. That D-line is nasty. But offense. I see somebody already talking about our boy Justin Jefferson. He's been balling, man. He's on my fantasy team too. So I have an affinity for him. You know, he's been very, very good to me. Scoring points. He's been very, very good to me. I got him and Thielen and Keenan Allen and Mike Evans. I'm loaded at receiver. But Jefferson has been really, really good to me. Really, really good. He's putting up a lot of highlights, putting up stupid numbers across from Thielen. Breaking some of Randy Moss's rookie record. He's on pace if he hasn't done it already. Justin Jefferson is making noise. Got to give him his credit. He's probably the leader right now, I think. You know, like I said, they're biased towards winning teams and quarterbacks, obviously. But Jefferson has been balling. Next, you got Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been the starter for a while, obviously, since the long shot situation for Tyrod Taylor. Justin Herbert's been there. The passing yard numbers are off the charts. Granted, getting shut out by the Patriots 45-0 at the same week that Justin Jefferson has a balling out game, it doesn't help your case. But he's been in there as a rookie quarterback, the glorified position in the NFL. He's been holding his own. Hasn't really been rattled. Hasn't been getting rocked. But he's been putting up numbers. Justin Herbert, another solid choice on the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Last but not least, a little sleeper. I say James Robinson from the Jaguars. Granted, he hasn't put up crazy numbers, but he's a rookie, running back, starter, full-time guy, putting up pretty solid numbers for a rookie running back. Definitely nobody saw him coming, so he's not going to get the media hype. And he plays for the Jags, so he's definitely not going to get the media hype. But James Robinson has been solid. He's been effective. Quarterback play has not been great for the Jags. But James Robinson has been the man since week one. He's carried the mail. He's been available. He's done what he had to do. Been effective. I like James Robinson, man. I like him. Donald Clark said, losing record hurts Shin. I think that's prime time, pretty much exactly the reason why. Not enough prime time spotlight and losing record, small market team like them. Man, okay, that's what the story is. And then Clark said she likes CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee is I like his game. He's very smooth. There's a lot of good receivers that came out. Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. 3 big-time receivers. Great picks. Early impact on the teams. Abdul says, Metcalf a rookie, I'm tripping. Nah, he's second year, bro. He's second year. Second year. Metcalf is a second-year guy. He's a second-year guy, but it's heating up. My offensive pick is probably Jefferson. I thought Herbert was going to lock that thing down. But I think Jefferson just been so consistent over the past probably 10, 11 weeks. He's been so consistent. He seems to put up a highlight every week. And he's doing the gritty in the end zone dancing, setting trends. So the media hype is there. I think he's got a solid choice. He's a solid choice for it. He's got a solid chance to win it. I think Chase Young might get it on defense, unfortunately, but I think Jeremy Chin is the best rookie defender. That's my opinion. Don Clark says Jefferson on offense is not even close. He definitely got some space. Like I said, that 45-0 blowout the Chargers suffered. It doesn't help your case if you're Justin Herbert. It doesn't help. Not even a little bit. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. But let's move on. Y'all hear about OBJ, man? I know he's been hurt for a while. He's had a rough 2020 talking about the Rona not being able to affect him because they have a mutual respect for each other. And then he got banned from going to LSU by his own school they used to go to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear about OBJ? Y'all hear about him? Y'all hear about OBJ? And Carson said play Jefferson on Christmas. The Vikings-Saints rivalry. Is it a rivalry at this point? Maybe, I don't know. But I'll probably watch that game too. Perks of having an NFL Sunday ticket. But OBJ, man, he went on a podcast recently reflecting on his time in New York as a Giant. Talking about how bad he wanted to still be a Giant. Talking about he didn't like how the head coach tried to make him out to a bad guy. He said that Pat Shermer, the head coach, told the young players not to talk to OBJ because he was a cancer. He would have a negative effect on them. Obviously, Dave Gettleman doesn't like anybody, but he definitely didn't have a thing for OBJ. That's why he traded OBJ. OBJ's comments were that he felt like the Giants made a mistake. With Eli being so old, why were they still trying to build? They weren't really building anything in particular. They weren't trying to build around Eli. They weren't trying to build around OBJ. They weren't trying to build around. He said they were just drafting players. He just said they didn't feel like they had a game plan of what they wanted to be as a team. They were just drafting people. He said he was just so frustrated because he wanted to win so bad. So he wanted to win. He wanted to win. And with all this stuff going on with the coach and the GM and all that, it was a toxic environment. With the cutthroat GM that paid OBJ all that money just to trade him away, it's crazy. Now, they did have to eat that salary. But from this standpoint, you can say that the Giants probably won the trade. They got a first-round pick. They got Jabril Peppers and a couple other players. Jabril Peppers has been balling for them. OBJ missed a lot of time. He's made some plays, but he's missed a lot of time with injuries. Those are very unfortunate. But the best ability is availability. You know, OBJ he's been on the injury report consistently over his career and the past few years in particular. But you could make an argument that the Giants may have actually won the trade. Even though they had to pay him all that money that first year they traded him. It is what it is. He said rejection is what he found hard to digest. Yeah, exactly. Said OBJ is a diva. That he is. I mean, he seemed to be happy playing with his friend when he first made the move going to Cleveland. But him and Baker seem to never be able to get on the same page. They stopped trying to be a passing offense, just started to run the ball this year. It let Myles Garrett wreak havoc. And it seems to be a game plan that works. Because you have two elite running backs in Chubb and Hunt. Just give them the ball and tell Baker not to mess up. That's literally the game plan. Now Baker did snap against these Titans. I don't know what got into the Titans and what got into Baker that game. But running the ball is the most effective game plan for these guys. Let's just be real. The less Baker has to do, the better. And it's a style of play built for success. If you can run that ball, it'll take you a lot of places. Probably to the playoffs. Maybe deep in the playoffs. It depends on the matchup. Anything can happen in this Rona era. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Abdul said OBJ is fragile physically and mentally. He is talented wide receiver, but he can't win without him. That's true. That's any wide receiver. I don't think anybody's ever won a championship with a star wide receiver. You don't need him. But I'm gonna hop on this Browns bandwagon because I got a bunch of old Cleveland Browns gear that I'm ready to break out for the winter. They just all over there's a bunch of dope Browns retro gear at thrift stores around here. So I got a bunch of Browns gear. I was going to flip on eBay, but it's sitting in my closet. So I got the old starter jacket, the nylon starter jacket. I got hats. I got t-shirts. I got crew neck sweaters for the Browns. You're going to see me busting all that Browns gear out. I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I'm finna jump on the bandwagon, man. You heard me? Jumping on the bandwagon. They win one or two more good games. Looking pretty impressive. I'm jumping on the bandwagon. Who they got this week? They got Baltimore this week on Monday. How many Monday or Tuesday games Baltimore gonna have? Good Lord. Forecast, snowflake. Dog pound. Let's do some predictions real quick, man. Let's run through the schedule. New England tomorrow's game. The Patriots at the Rams. The Rams are a 5-point favorite. Thursday night football. I'm going with the Rams, man. Cam Newton and the Patriots are just coming off of a 45-0 blowout of the Chargers. A team that has almost beat almost every team in the league, the Chargers. They blew them out, 45-0. Cam Newton only threw for 69 passing yards, but they were able to run the ball. They were able to run the ball and control the clock. Defense hasn't been as great this year because of all the opt-outs, but they're still pretty solid at times. Jared Goff, been playing pretty good this year. Cooper Kupp has been going crazy. The Rams moved on for Todd Gurley, doing the running back by committee with Cam Akers and Henderson. It's been working out pretty good. Obviously, Aaron Donald on the other side. Jalen Ramsey locking up. It'll be a good game, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I do like the Rams winning a close one. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because the Patriots defense, I think, is going to show up. But the Patriots offense, we'll see what Cam Newton can do. I'm rooting for Cam, obviously. You see the jersey behind me. But I just think the Rams are going to win this game. I think it'll be close. So if I had to pick against the spread, and if it's 5, I would take the Patriots plus 5. Just because they're going to run the ball, keep it honest. We'll see. We'll see if Cam Newton actually has to use his arm, even though they has no weapons on the outside. So we'll see. Abdul said the Patriots upset. Donald Clark picking the Patriots upset too. Andy Clark said the Rams. So we got 2 for the Rams, 2 for the Patriots. I was going to be in LA tomorrow too. Minnesota at Tampa. Tampa is a 6.5-point favorite at home against the Minnesota Vikings. We just got done talking about Justin Jefferson. You guys' favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. My favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Vikings are one of the better bad teams in the league. Even though they got embarrassed last week. That's why I called them one of the better bad teams. Got a miraculous comeback on my team, the Panthers. But they just really haven't been able to put it together this year. Dalvin Cook has gone nuts this year on the ground. Gone bananas. Just straight bananas. The crazy part is they're only one game worse than the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks are 7-5. The Bucks are 7-5, guys. All this media hype they had, you don't win a Super Bowl on paper. You don't win a Super Bowl on paper. So we'll see. They get, I don't know if it's going to be on TV or local broadcasting or not. But it'll be interesting to see how the Bucks come out. I guess they had the bye week last week. Is that they were off? Yeah, the Bucks were on bye. So they're going to be coming off a bye week. I'm going to go with the Bucks. It'll be, I don't see them blowing them out. 6.5 points is a lot of points for a Bucks team that hasn't been very impressive at all. They haven't been impressive at all. Let's be real. You know, games aren't won on paper. And like I said, I love to see them struggle. But I don't see them missing the playoffs. I think they get a win here. I would take the Vikings +6. I don't see it being a blowout. Even though it's at Tampa, they're coming off a bye. I don't see it being a blowout. I like the Vikings +6.5, but I like the Bucks to win straight up. They're going to be desperate, like I said, coming off that bye week. They've had a lot of time to prepare. They're at home. I like them in this spot. Andy Clark says you want Tampa to lose. Yeah, I mean, you can want it, but we'll see who's going to win, though. Abdul said Vikings. Donald Clark said Tampa needs it. Bucks 31, Vikings 28. Cousins will give up something. Cook held under 100 against a tough Tampa Bay defense. Yeah, it's true. I mean, they are tough, but the Vikings have great receivers. It'll be a good test for that secondary. It'll be a good test for that secondary. I need Tom Brady to have a good game myself. He's on my fantasy team. Oh, and Miss Sandy checked it. She said Rams had the better offense. She was talking about the last matchup. I ain't miss you. Yeah, I think the Rams gonna get it too. Broncos at the Panthers. Now the Panthers have been hit obviously with the COVID quote unquote outbreak. People are on the list. I don't know who's gonna be out, but Christian McCaffrey is in danger of missing the game. We'll see. He tweaked his thigh after coming back off of a shoulder injury. Will they be extra cautious and keep him out? Will it even matter? We'll see. Because if DJ Moore is the one that has COVID, he's going to be out. Now, will Curtis Samuel be able to make it in again? We'll see. But the Panthers have not had great success versus the Broncos throughout these matchups. Let's just be real. Like I said, we know the history of the Super Bowl 50. The game after the week 1 of the following year where we saw Cam Newton get assassinated and the refs let it happen. But the Panthers don't have great success against the Broncos. Christian McCaffrey is going to do everything he can to play in this game, like I said, because it's the hometown team. His dad played for the Broncos. He grew up in Colorado. Went to high school in Colorado. He's going to want to play. He's going to want to do good. But this Broncos defense is very stingy. We know their offense leaves a lot to be desired, but so does the Panthers defense. The Panthers have a problem with forcing teams to punt because they can't do it. They just can't do it. They just can't do it. And the Panthers are 4-point favorites right now. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Now, without Christian McCaffrey, I got to go with the Broncos. If Christian McCaffrey plays, I'll take the Panthers. I just don't see Teddy being able to do enough against this defense without Christian and possibly no DJ Moore, your best receiver. It just seems too much to overcome. So I would take the +4 on Denver, obviously, and take Denver to win outright, depending on Christian McCaffrey. Donald Clark said Broncos, too much Kansas to overcome. Too much for Kansas to overcome. And Clark said the Broncos defense. She's going with the Broncos. Abdul said Broncos reluctantly. Yeah, man, if we missing all these players, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to realistically beat the Broncos if you got 8 guys on COVID and Christian McCaffrey with a tweaked thigh. So even if he does play, he's not going to be 100%. Falcons at Chargers. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites against the Chargers. That's because they've been playing a lot better under their interim coach, Raheem Morris. Arthur Blank. Hey, Raheem Morris buying for that job. He said he would need to go 11-0. He ain't 11-0, but he's been coaching pretty solid. Defense has been a top 5 defense in efficiency since they got rid of Dan Quinn. How? I don't know. They destroyed the Raiders a week before last. Granted, they got beat by the Saints last week. But the Falcons, they have the talent. Let's be real. They have the talent. Will they beat the Chargers? The Chargers, like I said, they just got blanked. Anthony Lynn's job is on the line. He's not going to be fired anytime during the season, but his job is on the line. Will all these rumors and stuff get to the Chiefs and Chargers and be a distraction? Will they galvanize each other and play great? They're still playing with a rookie quarterback. You know? I would love for the Chargers to win this game. I would love it. But I got to go with the Falcons. I think the Falcons win this game. I think it's a fairly close game, but I think they covered at 2.5 points. 4 o'clock game on the West Coast. I got to pick the Falcons. I would love for them to lose, but I got to pick the Falcons. Abdul says, 2 teams that specialize in throwing games. Chargers just because I hate the other team. Yeah. They both find their ways to lose every week. Donald Clark said, go Chargers, forget the Falcons. You can't just put Can on everything and change it to a nickname or insult. Can't just put Cant on any Falcons, Canthers, the Caints. Is that the Saints nickname, the Caints? We'll see. New Orleans at Philly. Now, we talked about this game a little bit earlier. Jalen Hurts will be making his first stat at quarterback against a very aggressive and ferocious Saints defense that has been playing great this year. They will need some balance. They will need balance in order to keep up with the Saints. Without Drew Brees, I don't think it'll be a blowout. 7 points. I see the Saints covering that 7 points and winning this game. But I don't think it's just going to be just them killing them. You know, I think they'll keep them at arm's reach all game. The Saints will. They may force a turnover or two on Jalen. Obviously, he's a rookie. But I don't see Taysom Hill just lighting it up unless the Saints defense creates all kinds of turnovers that set them up in scoring position. It could happen. You never know. Jalen Hurts is a rookie. It's his first start. But it's almost impossible to pick against the Saints in this spot. You can't. Saints going to win this. They're going to cover that 7, in my opinion. It's a good game for a teaser. If you want to put that in a 6-point teaser, if you know sports betting, you know what a teaser is. Just put it in the teaser. Andy Clark said she picking the Saints, and she picked the Falcons. Donald Clark said they own the NFC South. Y'all got it this year. I give it to y'all. We coming, though. We coming. Panthers coming. Cowboys. Lucas said Jalen Hurts about to steal the team from Wentz. He was fantastic at Alabama and at Oklahoma. Yeah, he really took another step at Oklahoma, man. He really went to another level, and I like that move for him to transfer there with Lincoln Riley. I wasn't sure how it was going to fit, but Lincoln Riley is a great coach. Got the best out of him. Really got to help him show off his arm. So we'll see what Doug Peterson has in the game plan for him. Said Philly man fell off a cliff. Sad Jalen might throw multiple INTs. Yeah, I want to see him do good, man, but this is not a great matchup to get your first start against. You hate to see it. Cowboys at Bengals. Good Lord. Who's going to watch this game? Who's going to watch this game? The Cowboys at the Bengals. Besides Cowboys fans, who is going to watch this game? Is anybody going to voluntarily watch this game? This could be one of the worst games of the year. It could easily be one of the worst games of the year. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's out. They got the backup quarterback. Dallas, Dak Prescott's out. They got the backup quarterback, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's return. The only storyline in this game is Andy Dalton's return to Cincinnati. Seeing his good buddy, A.J. Green. Seeing the team that gave up on him and let him go for the stud from LSU. That's the only storyline about this. Seeing if Andy Dalton's going to be wanting to play inspired. After they got embarrassed and looked pathetic. Granted, I'm sure they're still not out of the division race. They're only 2 games back from the Giants. But like I said, the only people that are going to be watching this game are Cowboys fans. I don't think Bengals fans are even going to watch this game. I'll take the Cowboys, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose, but I'll take the Cowboys. They're 3.5-point favorites. If it was 3, I'd take it. I feel a lot better, but I'll go with the 3.5. Donald Clark said they bumped it down to 1. Was scheduled for Sunday night. Thank goodness. NFL ain't stupid. Andy Clark said she ain't watching that game. Abdul said they loyal fans, of course. They'll be the ones watching it. So the Cowboys to edge it. So you don't know. I got the Cowboys, man. They'll pull this one out. Tennessee at Jacksonville. Tennessee. I got Tennessee. Simple. 7.5-point favorites. That's tough. It's a division game. Division games are typically a little bit closer. Typically a little bit closer. So 7.5 is a lot, but Tennessee's definitely winning. Jacksonville's only won one game this year. Mike Glennon will probably keep getting the start at quarterback. But Tennessee is going to be looking to bounce back. They got embarrassed. They got embarrassed by the Browns last week. They were down 38-7 at halftime. The game ended up finishing a little bit closer than it was supposed to be. But they're going to be looking to bounce back. They're going to be looking to be hungry and aggressive out there. Derrick Henry, expect him to get a good dose of the ball against this Jacksonville team that's just not very good. They've fallen off so far defensively. They just don't have a lot of talent on the team. They have some decent skill guys that can be worked with, but they're not in the business of winning games this year. Look for Derrick Henry to have a huge game. Andy Clark says you're going with Tennessee Titans. Lucas said King Henry going to take it over. Abdul said Music City to win. Yeah. I think we all on the same page there. Let's speed this up a little bit. Arizona at New York. Arizona 6-6. New York is 5-7. Look out. The Giants have won 4 games in a row. They just beat the Seahawks on the road. One of the heavy hitters in that division, we thought. They just shut them down. That defense is not getting them enough credit. I think people are finally starting to wake up. Like I said, the Giants, I feel like they won that trade. Jabril Peppers is all over the place. Him and Chris Carson were going at it. Go to my Instagram, UB Sports Talk. If you want to check out I posted some clips and some highlights from that game. The Giants are playing ball. James Bradbury playing ball. He kept Metcalf pretty quiet last week when they were matched up. The Giants defense, look out now. The Giants are a 2-point underdog at home versus the Cardinals. Now, Daniel Jones, we don't know if he's going to play or not. Will Colt McCoy get lucky again? This is a toss-up game. If Daniel Jones plays, I'm not going to say that he's a turnover machine, so I'm not going to say that helps them. But I think the Giants could continue that winning streak. They're an underdog, but I got to pick them. I think they're going to run away with this division. It's a lot closer than it is, but I think the Eagles and the Cowboys, obviously, they're going to fall off. But between them and the football team, I think the Giants make a little push to put a little bit. It's going to come down to probably the football team and the Giants. But I think the Giants get this win because they know they need it. They're hungry. Their confidence is building. Defensively, they're playing great. Wayne Gallman has been balling on the running game even without Saquon. Improbable run for them at least. But I like the Giants to upset. I think it's a good spot to upset. A home underdog, according to Vegas. I like the Giants to upset. Indianapolis at Las Vegas. Indianapolis comes in at 8-4. Las Vegas comes in at 7-5 at home. Vegas is a 3-point underdog against the Colts. Now, Las Vegas has had their struggles. I mean running back. Lucas said it's a toss-up. Abdul said Big Blue to continue that win streak. Them boys on fire. It's the Giants, but I think Washington will win a division. It's going to come down to, I don't know, I guess when they play sometime down the stretch. No, they don't play each other anymore. And Giants swept them. The Giants swept them. So the Giants have the head-to-head. The Giants have the head-to-head against the football team. But for Indy, Will they be able to get this win? I like the Colts. The Colts defense has been great. Vegas, they beat the Chiefs early in the year. End up getting mollywopped. End up getting mollywopped by the Falcons also. Squeaked one out against the Jets last week. They're at home. I like the Colts, man. I like the Colts in this one. Phillip Rivers. I think Phillip Rivers is like hurt. He's on the injury report, isn't he? Isn't Phillip Rivers on the injury report? Regardless, I like the Colts in this one. Defense is probably one of the better defenses in the league. Offense is pretty steady. I think T.Y. Hilton is the one that's on the injury report. Vegas, like y'all are saying it too. They've kind of tailed off some. Like I said, they barely squeaked one out against the Jets last week. They probably easily should have lost. Lucas said Indy isn't bad. Said the Colts. Vegas is falling off. Colts are more consistent and disciplined. I agree. Said Leonard is a beast. Indy. Yeah, their defense is balling, man. And then they got what they got? The guy from San Francisco. I can't even think of his name. The defensive lineman. Interior guy. They've been pretty solid, man. Indy has been pretty solid. So I'll go with them. And I'll take the 3 points on that. Kansas City at Miami. This is one of the underrated matchups of the week. Kansas City's 11-1. Miami's at 8-4. Something about when people go to Miami, they just don't play great. Is it too much partying? What is it? Is it the heat, the untimely heat? It's going to be 81 degrees and raining. That's in the forecast. What will Tua Tagovailoa be able to do against this Chiefs, the Super Bowl champs? Obviously, I'm picking the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. I don't know. I think I like the Dolphins. It's Buckner. That's who it is. Thanks, Lucas. I think the Dolphins may be able to hang around. The Chiefs haven't been playing their best ball. Maybe they'll be looking ahead to the Saints matchup next week. Not really. It's the NFL. Nobody really looks ahead like college football. But the Chiefs, 7 points against the Dolphins? I don't know. I like the Dolphins to cover that 7. But I got the Chiefs winning straight up, obviously. I like the Chiefs in that one. I like the Chiefs. So KC to bully the AFC inferior. Look, the Dolphins are in the playoff, and they're 8-4. The Dolphins could easily win it, not easily, but they have a chance to win a division. Because they still got the Patriots, the Raiders, and the Bills. It's in front of them. If the Dolphins win out, it's in front of them. The division is in front of the Dolphins. They have an opportunity to win a division. Everything's in front of them. Now, unfortunately, they play the Chiefs this week, so that may be an L. But the Bills have a tough schedule, too. The Bills got the Steelers. They got the Pats again, and they got to play the Dolphins head-to-head. They got the Broncos. That's probably a win. But we'll see. And Clark said she wanted the Chiefs to lose. If they lose, they're gonna be mad when they come to play the Saints the week after. You might want them to win. So KC wins, but that Dolphins defense will show up. Yeah, like I said, the Dolphins, they're 8-4, man. He said I might have laughed real hard at me butchering Tua's name. Look, I had a little fun with it because I know I was gonna butcher it. Tagovailoa, whatever. Next game, Houston at Chicago. Another game, battle of the garbage. 2 garbage teams. It's in Chicago. Chicago is a 1-point underdog. Houston is favored on the road versus that good Chicago defense. Now, Deshaun Watson, does he have any magic in him to be able to win this game versus the Bears? Now, every time we'll see this matchup like this, it reminds all Bears fans they could have easily had Deshaun Watson instead of Mitch Trubisky. This game is going to be full of a lot of regret. A lot of regret. Just think where would they be if they had Deshaun Watson instead of Mitch Trubisky? Where? They could be in a whole different spot right now. competing for championships possibly. Where could they be? They picked the wrong guy. They traded up to pick the wrong guy. So this is going to be a game full of regret. And I think Deshaun Watson and the Texans win this game to make the Bears regret not picking him even more. Even more. Because the Bears had that defense, but they started out, 5-0, 5-1, something like that. But they're 5-7 now. Mitch Trubisky clearly ain't it. He's probably out of town after this year. This game will be full of regret. I'm telling you. I got the Texans. So Houston, the Bears still suck. So Houston are offensive virgins. Texans to win. Don Clark said Texans. Watson deserves better. Yeah, he does. But like I said, it could be worse. Could be a Bears fan seeing Deshaun Watson come to town. I would love to see Deshaun Watson put some magic on and blow them out. Love it, love it, love it. All right, a couple more games. Let's get through these things, man. The Jets at the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks, man. The Seahawks are 8-4. They're 13.5-point favorites. There's no way they're covering 13.5 points. The Seahawks do nothing but play close games. They just lost to another team from New York at home. Was that at home? I don't think it was at home. They just lost to the other team from New York. They play another one this week. Obviously, with being Seattle, rain is in the forecast. 13.5 points is way too much. Like I said, the Seahawks do nothing but play close games. The Jets will compete. They'll compete. But I definitely have the Seahawks winning straight up. I'm definitely taking the Jets against the spread. Not really too much to say. Adam Gase is a trash quarterback. Greg Williams was fired. Saints fans' favorite defensive coordinator, Greg Williams. Jets are in tank mode. They got their eyes on Trevor. They're not going to win a game just to spoil that and give the Jaguars a chance to swoop in. They're going to let the Seahawks get this W that they need to get the 9 wins and keep themselves alive in this wild card race. So the streak continues for the Jets. And then Clark got the Seahawks too. Donald Clark said the Seahawks. I think we all on the same page about that. Lucas said, no way Seahawks lose 2 weeks in a row to bad teams. Yeah, but it's 2020. Stranger things have happened. San Francisco and the football team. San Francisco's at home. They're 3-point favorites. Will Jimmy Garoppolo be back? Will it even matter? Because Nick Mullins and Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, are pretty much the same guy. One just has a little bit fatter pockets. One definitely has fatter pockets. San Francisco has been devastated by injuries, obviously with Kittle, Garoppolo, Bosa. Sherman's been out, but he's back. I wouldn't be surprised to see the 49ers win this game, though. At home, Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive coach. He gets his guys to play hard. They're going to be coming out that loss to the Bills. But I think I like the 49ers in this spot. This is where I think the football team trips up. They show some heart, riding high. Maybe they get the head too big after beating the Steelers in prime time, slaying the dragon. So I think they get a big head and have a letdown. I got San Francisco to win this. I got San Francisco to win this one. I said, I think Washington has a letdown after riding high. All the media hype and the memes have been all over them. Abdul says football team. Shout out to Ron Rivera. I do like Ron. Couple more. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I got some comments. Clark said this is an underrated game. Hard hitting and tough, but Washington is hungry. Going with Washington. Yeah, Washington's defense is tough. Lucas says a toss-up for the Pittsburgh and Buffalo game. I agree. This will be a great game. Great matchup. Buffalo right now is a 2.5-point favorite. Now, that's the biggest surprise. They're at home. Had a very I think Vegas is really trying to take advantage of people seeing these games. They know that the football team has a stigma of not being that good, and they beat the Steelers. So Vegas is probably thinking, oh, all the hype is going to be on going against the Steelers because the Bills look very impressive against the 49ers, and the Steelers laid an egg. Now, me trying to be smart, I would put money on the Steelers. They're not that great, but I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at the spread, just thinking of what Vegas may be trying to do. Now the Bills could come in here and get this win easily, but if I was betting on the spread, I would probably take Pittsburgh plus 2.5. But I think the Bills do win outright. I think they win outright. Thank goodness this game got flexed to prime time to the Sunday night football game because I can't wait to watch it. Because if the Steelers lose in prime time again, they will get clowned. Believe that. Donald Clark said Bills. Steelers on the downslide. Andy Clark got the Bills too. Lucas said Bills play upset. They playing solid football all around. Yeah. Josh Allen been balling. True One checking in. What up, though? What's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you? This one for you, Lucas. The Packers at the Lions. The Green Bay Packers are 9-3 going against the 5-7 Detroit Lions. Green Bay Packers are 7.5-point favorites. It's in Detroit, so it's going to be indoors. Aaron Rodgers has uncanny success against the Lions. I think it continues here. I think it'll be a back and forth shootout though. I see some points being put up. The over under is 55 total points. I see it being back and forth. I got this game being like 34-23, 34-26. It'll be back and forth for a while, but the Packers just have too much gas. Aaron Jones is a dog. Devontae Adams is a dog. Aaron Rodgers is a dog. One of the best set of triplets in the league right now. All dogs. Defensively, Jair Alexander, one of my favorite corners in the league right now. I like the Packers, man. For the NFC, I do like the Packers. I do like the Packers. Abdul says that last game was a tough one, but the Bills are dangerous. Steelers can't lose 2 games in a row. That's a good point. Lucas said, easy game. Take the spread. Packers wrecking now. Andy Clark said, Packers, although I want them to lose. Yeah, she's trying to get some little bit of more wiggle room in that NFC race. It's a tight race. You need them losses. Green Bay schedule down the stretch. What they looking like? Oh, Lord. Yeah, that I'm going to tell you right now. Looking at the Packers schedule, they got the Lions, Carolina, Tennessee, and the Bears. They may lose to the Titans. The Titans are the only team that has a chance against them, but that's a home game. And that's going to be a great game. But the Saints are going to have to win out. I don't know who has the head-to-head between the Saints and the Packers. But the Saints, they could trip up against if they lose to the Chiefs. This NFC race is going to be very interesting for this first round bye. I don't know who has the head-to-head. It probably comes down to like conference record. But if it comes down to like common opponents, the Saints will have the advantage because they've beaten the Bucs twice, and the Bucs beat the Packers. I don't know, but that NFC race is going to be very, very interesting. It'll be great to see this down the stretch. Said Packers, and it will not be competitive. Lions defense is awful. Lions offense is awful also. True One said just checking in. I know you might have already talked about it, but do you think all that's going on with the Panthers them tanking without saying they're tanking? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, Matt Rule's saying all the right things to keep all the fan base happy that believes in him so they won't doubt him. But to me, they're going to always try to win. Players are going to try to win. But yeah, a lot of the tanking would come from the management, whether it's sitting players down, like Christian McCaffrey who tweaks a thigh, who could probably be good to go, but they may want to sit him down just because they have no interest in risking him if there's no point in winning these games anyway. 8-8 is not going to get us in the playoffs. Not the way that the AFC West, the NFC West is shaping up. So in the COVID outbreak, I don't think that's tanking. That just happened. That's them making a bad decision. But it doesn't hurt the cause if you really wanted them to tank. So Tennessee will beat the Packers. Packers have head-to-head. They beat us in game 3. Oh, I don't remember that. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, listen. The Saints really need to beat the Chiefs. Because the Packers' schedule, unless they lose to the Titans, it's going to be Lions, Panthers, Titans, and Bears. Oh, my. I don't know. Lucas said the Packers beat the Aints. These salty Aints fans just don't want to really relive it. Said Lucas, that saying to you and others. Put some respect on that. Hey, I had faith in the Packers. They just let me down when they lost to the Bucks. They let me down. But they may be I wouldn't mind the Chiefs Packers Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind the Chiefs. Well, we'll see. We'll get a chance to see Chiefs versus Saints. But I wouldn't mind the Chiefs Packers Super Bowl. I would not mind it. Last but not least, Baltimore at Cleveland. This is going to be another good game, a Monday Night Football game. Baltimore is 75 traveling to Cleveland, a division game. Baltimore is a 1-point favorite. The forecast is 34 degrees and snow. Baltimore has had their struggles. Lamar Jackson, after the MVP season, has had some struggles. He just beat the Rona, came back last night and played, balled out, had a pick against the Cowboys, but won comfortably. The Browns have been running the football like crazy. But week 1, the Ravens blew out the Browns, 38-6. They blew them out. So that's what really set the tone for the Browns season, because a lot of people thought they weren't for real because they got blown out by the Ravens. And then you see the Ravens get beat by some middle-of-the-road teams every so often or really struggle. And you start to wonder what the deal is. So this will be a good game. This will be a good game to see where the Browns and the Ravens really are. It will be a good measuring stick against each other. Now, obviously, the Steelers are hoping for the Ravens to win to give them a little bit more breathing room against the Browns. But this game can really go either way. It can really go either way. I'm going to go with the Ravens, man. I got to go with the Ravens. I think I believe in Lamar. I'll take Lamar over Baker. I got to. Now that running game is crazy with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Like I said, Myles Garrett is a beast on defense for the Browns. But I just got to think Lamar clicks, turns it on, gets things rolling. I think that Cowboys game was a good wake-up for them to get them going. Trying to make this playoff push. They're going to need this game. This playoff race is going to be tight. They might have added an extra slot on each side, but it's going to be tight. There's a lot of low-key good games. No, Lord, I lost my video. Guys. The camera died. That means I'm out of time. That was the last game anyway. That was the last game on the schedule anyway. I guess I went over my time, man. My camera died. My camera pulled a plug on me. Miss Sandy said her internet is lagging. Maybe it's my connection. I don't know. Abdul said, what darkness? Let me get about this thing then, man. That's the case. My camera trying to tell me something. It's like, bro, come on. You don't usually go this long. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Merch coming soon. I'm opening up the phone lines next week so y'all can call in. Somebody got to be bold enough to chat with me. I know y'all said y'all some introverts, but y'all got to call in and chat with me, man. But I'm going to get up off this thing because y'all probably don't want to listen to me. Y'all probably like looking at me a little bit. Kind of weird. Ain't it? This hasn't happened before. My camera battery died. I got to be better prepared for going hour and 30-something minutes. No worries. This is the Dunk On Demand Show. I am Dunk. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's all love to y'all. I'll see you next time. I'm chucking up and blowing the deuces at y'all. Holla.